So some news I'm going to report on is George Groves has announced that he is retiring from boxing. I'm not actually surprised by this. I think that given how his final of the World Boxing Super Series went with Callum Smith, the way he basically kind of gave up and didn't want anymore, kind of set the tone for this. So I wasn't overly surprised about this. I did see some reports last week saying that he was back in the gym with Shane McGuigan and, he was looking to make a comeback, but, maybe he got in, had some sparring and realised it wasn't for me. I kind of always felt that George Groves, especially the last year, kind of since the Eubank Jr. fight, that the fire has kind of been gone. He's made his money. He's done what he wanted to do. He won his world title. And I think that George Groves, he's done all that he needs to do, and I don't think the fire was quite there anymore. I don't think that there was really anything that he needed to prove in terms of boxing. I think maybe he was holding out for the James DeGale rematch. Maybe that, I think maybe he thinks that Eubank will beat DeGale, and maybe he thinks that if DeGale loses, it's not worth it. Possibly. But at the end of the day, George Groves, he has a wife, he's got two young kids. He made an article, he wrote up on his Facebook page and on Twitter that, he's recently had the birth of his second child. So I think he wants to just stay at home and do his own thing, which I can't really argue with. He also mentioned Edward Goodnick in that article, which, I think that still bothers George Groves to an extent, that fight. I remember watching that fight, and, Edward Goodnick, thoughts and prayers are with him. He's still in a pretty bad way, even to this day, nearly 3 years later. So I think all that taken into consideration, and the fact that George Groves is a millionaire, he's made a hell of a lot of money from the two Carl Froch fights. He's made a lot of money from the James DeGale fight and the World Boxing Super Series. So, he has what he needs. I hope I said Eubank Jr., not James DeGale there, by the way. But he made a lot of money from the Eubank Jr. fight. So I think George Groves, he's set up. He doesn't really need the box anymore. And I think that, as I said, the fire kind of went out of him. I think once he won the world title and he had his paydays, the fire kind of went out of him, and he wanted to be a stay-at-home kind of guy. He said in that article that he's going to be covering the Eubank Jr. James DeGale fight, and that's kind of what he wants to do, kind of stay in boxing in terms of a behind-the-scenes kind of area, which, I think George Groves, he might be good at that. I think, George Groves maybe knows a good bit about boxing, so I think that might be good for him. But, it's sad in a way because I did like George Groves. I do like watching him fight, and, I miss seeing him because he was a good fighter. I enjoy watching him fight. But at the end of the day, if you can afford to retire before the sport retires you, I'd go for it. And he's young, he's got plenty of money, he's fit, he's healthy, he's had no real beatings in the ring, really, realistically. So, George Groves, all seems well with him, and I wish him the best in retirement. And I hope he enjoys it. So that's what I got to say on this, just reporting on this as I see it. And I'm going to work on maybe getting some more videos out tomorrow. I actually have a topical video I'm going to release tomorrow morning at some stage. Might even release it today, but I'll probably get it out tomorrow morning. So stay tuned for that. But those are my thoughts on this. I wish George Groves a happy retirement, and I hope he's set for life, and I hope he enjoys it. So those are my thoughts on this. As always, feel free to leave your thoughts down below. I love hearing it, and I'll talk to you after.